Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of a Madden 26 rebuild. That is right. Today, we take on, maybe on paper, not so much of a difficult rebuild, but one that involves a team that probably needs a rebuild, or maybe not necessarily a rebuild, but a refresh, a retooling, basically. And I'm talking about, obviously, the Houston Texans. You know that from the thumbnail and the title. So, the Houston Texans, a couple of years ago, take a top pick in the draft. They draft their future franchise quarterback. At least they thought that was going to be the case. C.J. Stroud out of the Ohio State University, which I'm not ashamed to say that I am a huge C.J. Stroud fan, not just because he's a Buckeye and I'm a Buckeye fan, but because I think he has all of the tools to be a franchise quarterback in the NFL. He's got the size, he's got the arm strength, he's got the vision down the field, he can read defenses, at least you think that he can, and he showed that in his rookie season. But ever since that rookie year, he's kind of regressed, and it's really weird. And I don't know if it's all his fault. I'm sure a little bit of it is his fault, but it's got to be the rest of the team around him. There's no way that somebody of CJ Stroud's caliber, somebody with his talent, somebody with his all of the tools that he possesses can regress as heavily as he has without it being a little bit of a team problem also alongside his own problems, which I'm sure he's having, and he's maybe struggling to adjust to the NFL pace a little bit more now that teams have figured him out, because obviously rookies tend to show up in their rookie seasons because nobody has any tape on them yet and they haven't figured out what they can do. Now that he's a couple years in, there's a lot of teams that are scheming for him specifically because he's the quarterback. They got film on him, all that kind of stuff, and he's struggling to adjust to that and counter it. And that's what the best do. Like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, all these guys, plus many others, obviously. All these guys, they adjust to what the defensive coordinators and the defenses on the field have on film, then they play better. So we'll see if CJ can do that eventually. I hope personally, for my sake, that he does, because I'm a Buckeye fan. I want to see all the Buckeyes do well. But we'll have to wait and see what he does. I hope that he can. Who knows? So this team, and the reason I say this team is good on paper is because you've got weapons around CJ Stroud. You've got Nico Collins, who has turned himself into a number one wide receiver. You've got Dalton Schultz, who's a solid number one tight end, maybe a number two tight end on a good team, but he's a good tight end. You've got decent weapons in Christian Kirk. You've got Nick Chubb, who we'll see what happens with him. Maybe he can reclaim some of that old Nick Chubb mojo. Maybe he can't. I don't know, but he's still a quality running back. You've got Will Anderson Jr. on the defense. The offensive line needs a little bit of work, but you got Derek Stingley, who's one of the best corners in football. So you got some pieces on this team, but it's just those little intermediate pieces, those things that maybe people don't think about, like a quality starting guard or a big-time safety or a starting Mike linebacker, something like that, something that is not like the flashy position of a wide receiver or a quarterback or even a running back or an edge rusher. Those positions are what the Texans are lacking, and that's what we're here to do, to fix the Texans and to quote-unquote rebuild them here in today's episode. So if you're going to enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Let me know down below in the comments another team that you want to see me rebuild in the future. Maybe it's your favorite team. Maybe it's just a team you think sucks. I don't know. Let me know down below in the comments, and let's rebuild the C.J. Stroud Houston Texans. The good thing about having a team in a rebuild like the Texans is we don't need to go for a quarterback in the draft. We already have our quarterback right here in C.J. Stroud. He's 23 years old. In his third season in the NFL, superstar dev, he will develop. He's got all the makings of a franchise quarterback in terms of Madden ratings. He's an unbelievable Madden quarterback. He will develop. We just have to put the right pieces around him to get this team to a championship. Like I mentioned in the intro, we have Nick Chubb at running back. I don't know what Nick Chubb's going to bring to the table in real life, but in Madden, he's going to be a pretty solid running back for at least one season, maybe two. He is 29 years old. He's about to be 30, and we know that running backs in Madden tend to regress pretty heavily once they reach that 28, 29, 30 mark. So we'll see what we have to do there at running back. We might, depending on how quickly we can rebuild this team, we might be able to win a championship before Nick Chubb starts to regress too heavily. I don't know. That's all up in the air. But then we have this guy right here, who, like I said also in the intro, has turned himself into a number one receiver. Nico Collins is a number one receiver on a lot of NFL teams. Not some of the top NFL teams receiver-wise, like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, guys like that caliber. But on, I'd say probably, I don't know, maybe 20 to 22 NFL teams, he's probably a number one receiver on those teams. So Nico's a great receiver. He's a good player. He's got all of the attributes you need to be a number one wide receiver in Madden. I like him, and we're gonna have to build around him because he's not very old. He's like what 26, I'd say. So we got time with Nico Collins, and he's already an X factor. So we don't have to worry about his regression for a minute. The rest of the weapons around him are whatever. Christian Kirk isn't what he used to be, and even what he used to be isn't amazing. He was a fine wide receiver for like Arizona and maybe a little bit for Jacksonville, but Christian Kirk's not that great anymore, and he's over 30, I think, right? Is he over 30? I'm pretty sure he should be. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. He isn't? He's 28? Oh, Christian, you fell off dramatically. I thought you were over 30. My bad, dog. Okay. Well, we've got a rookie in Jaden Higgins, who is from Iowa State. Yeah, Iowa State. So I like the potential of Jaden Higgins. I don't know how he's going to play in real life, but I like the potential in the game. He's 75 overall with hidden dev. It's probably only star. I think it most certainly is star. But he can definitely become that number two wide receiver alongside Nico. We also have his running mate, Jalen Noel from Iowa State, who's a 74. We could have two Iowa State receivers, and this guy's more of a burner. He's 93 speed, 94 excel. So Jaden, what's his face? Jaden Higgins is more of the technical running the routes type of receiver, and Noel's more of the run past you type of receiver. So if we can develop both of those guys, and they're starting very decent overall, 74, 75, we could be pretty good. But don't forget about this man right here. I know a lot of people tend to forget about him because he's got that devastating knee injury that he suffered last year, and who knows if he's even going to be able to get on the field this year. But Tank Dell is a dude. Tank Dell is an absolute stud. So if we can have Nico, both of the Iowa State receivers, and Tank Dell, I mean, that's four wide receivers out the gates that we don't have to draft a receiver in this rebuild. We've got the pieces right here. We just got to take them and develop them. I should probably generate best lineup so Tank Dell can get some playing time. There we go. So, oh, I didn't even mention. I forgot all because I didn't generate the best lineup. I forgot all about Joe Mixon. I apologize. That's my fault. Joe Mixon's here as well. I saw Nick Chubb there, and I just completely forgot about Joe Mixon. That's 100% on me. Joe Mixon is here, and he's a good running back, but sometimes he's kind of weird on the injury report. Like, is his legs okay? Is he questionable? Is he likely to go? Like, Joe Mixon's an anomaly because he's so good, but then he gets hurt a lot. And I guess that's not really an anomaly. A lot of people have that issue, but Joe Mixon is such a good running back. And he just, I don't know, is he hurt? Is he not hurt? He's an enigma when it comes to that. So who knows what's going to happen with him. But now that we've generated the best lineup, at least on offense, we've got all of the receivers we need. We don't need to draft a receiver unless there's an absolute monster in the draft. But we don't have to worry about that. And really, we don't have to worry about running back either because we have Joe Mixon, we have Nick Chubb, we have Dameon Pierce as well. This offense doesn't need that much work. We just need to figure out a couple of offensive linemen. And then to the defense. I mentioned Will Anderson Jr. He's a monster. He's going to be here for the rebuild. We've got Derek Stingley Jr., who's one of the best corners in football. He's an X factor. He's a freak. We've got Kamari Lassiter, who I do like and I think can turn into something. He just needs a little bit more reps. We've got Jalen Petrie, who's a good young safety in the league. The rest of the team needs a little bit of work. CJ Gardner-Johnson, he's cool, but he's a little bit older. He's not going to develop that crazy. We need a couple extra corners as depth pieces around Stingley and Lassiter. We need some extra defensive linemen to go alongside Will Anderson Jr. because, I mean, Danielle Hunter's cool. He's old. He's ancient. He was around when Moses was talking, so he's ancient. And then linebackers pretty much need an entire rebuild. I mean, EJ Speed, what are we going to do with him? He's 30 years old. What do you expect me to do? We need a whole total reset on the linebacking core. And then we've got, like I said, this offensive line needs a couple of pieces, but it's got the bones because we've got this young rookie in Ariante Irsay. That's a crazy name. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know if I've heard that pronounced. I don't know, but he's 23-year-old, 73 overall left tackle. We should be able to have him be one of the franchise pieces of this team when it comes to the actual final team, the final product. And I might actually play him at guard for season one because he's a 74 overall. Scruggs is also a 74 overall, which Juice Scruggs, who knows what's going to happen with him? He's kind of just a bum. But Ursay, I'm going to give him the shot at guard. I know that he's probably going to end up being a tackle when we finally win a championship. But if as long as he gets some playing time, I mean, he needs to get some playing time. So we're going to play him at guard for season number one. I have spent my staff points. I earned myself the diamond tier training camp ability, which means you get that 5% boost on mini camp drills and all that kind of stuff. So we are good to go there. Let's simulate season number one. I've already got the draft class loaded in. It's just an auto-generated draft class, so we don't have to worry about anything like that. Let's get going because we are running just regular Texans offense, Texans defense. I haven't gone to switch that, and I might use this rebuild, this Texans rebuild, as a little bit of an experiment. Ooh, we got a 95% scheme fit. That's pretty nice. I might use this this Texans rebuild as a little bit of an experiment to see which playbook combinations can help us win a championship faster. Because in my experiments with the New England Patriots during my 10-year rebuild I'm doing also on the channel, I found that the Cincinnati playbook, yeah, it's good for getting the quarterback unbelievable numbers, 5,000 yards, 40 plus touchdowns, but it doesn't necessarily translate to wins on the simulation. So I found that the Buffalo offense does translate to that a little bit more consistently. So maybe we could switch to a Buffalo offense. We could also maybe switch to a Dallas Cowboy offense, or maybe even a Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense. They tend to simulate fairly well. Atlanta Falcons simulate pretty well, at least on offense. So there's a lot of things that we could switch to that might help us simulate better once we become a good team. But we are running just base Texans playbooks, offense and defense, for season number one because I want to get a baseline of how good this team is going to simulate with the preseason upgrades and with all that kind of stuff. So let's simulate season number one, see where the Texans finish. We have our own first round pick, right? We didn't trade it to anybody, did we? No, we have our own first round pick. We also have 2 second round picks because Washington gave us their second. It's pretty nice. We also have 2 4s. Okay, so we can do some damage in this draft. We can get a starter 3 different times with 2 second round picks and a first round pick. We can make some things happen as long as this draft class gave us some good players. So I'm going to simulate season number one. We're going to see where this team is after 1 year, and hopefully CJ Stroud gets some good development. Season one is done, and we go 8-9, which honestly is probably where I think the Texans will end up in real life because they just, I don't know, they just don't play well in the big moments, which is kind of frustrating because I think CJ Stroud is a good quarterback, like I mentioned before. Let's take a look at these stats, though. We miss out on the playoffs. How did CJ do? 3,800 yards, 38 touchdowns, 4 picks. That's a good season from CJ. He can get there. I can believe in him. He can do it. He just needs those pieces around him to help him. And maybe a slightly better playbook. Rushing numbers, Joe Mixon puts up 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns. It's crazy what he can do when he's healthy. 5 yards per carry is pretty good as well. And then receiving, Tank Dell goes crazy. 1,200 yards and 19 touchdowns. If that's not Offensive Player of the Year, I don't know what we're doing here. Nico puts up 1,000 yards with 8 touchdowns. Christian Kirk even had 6 touchdowns. The rookies didn't get any usage, which is very frustrating because I thought I had them as starters, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. I'm not upset at all. Defensively, we have ourselves Azeez Al-Shaair, or Al-Shaair, I forget how to say his name. Who cares? He's got 127 tackles. He did fine. Lassiter had 89 tackles. Danielle Hunter with 18 tackles for loss. Okay, the big man, the old man, the bag of bones. He's getting the pressure on the quarterback, or at least getting pressure in the backfield. Anderson Jr. had 11 tackles for loss. So did Sheldon Rankins. That's a name from the Wayback Machine. Then we got ourselves the sack leader, which is Will Anderson Jr. You would expect him to be, with 9, 6 for Hunter, 5 for Tim Settle, and then 4 for Al-Shaair and Rankins. Interceptions, Shaair with 3, so did Bullock. I didn't even talk about Kalen Bullock, another good young piece on this team, on this defense. Petrie had 2, Ward, Gardner, a bunch of guys had 1, including Derek Stingley. All right, so we move into the first offseason with hope, I guess you could say, because this team has the makings of a Super Bowl team. Just got to put the pieces in the right spots. It's Eagles and Ravens in the Super Bowl. It's a bunch of bird teams. Who's going to be the best bird, the superior bird? Probably the Eagles, I would assume. And it is. Yes, Eagles win the Super Bowl. Congratulations to them and their fans. The Philly fans are trash. Okay, let's move on to the offseason. We got the lineup. Let's take a look, see if we got any depth trade upgrades. I'm hoping. Tank Dell. Oh my God, he was Star Dev, wasn't he? He goes from Star Dev to X Factor in one season. So that means he must have gone up naturally to Superstar either at some point during the season or at the Super Bowl week. And then he goes up because he won Offensive Player of the Year, right? No, he goes up Superstar. Huh. Okay. Awesome. He's an X Factor. That's super sick. We got an X Factor wide receiver number 2. Him and Tank Dell are beasts. We're going to move on from Christian Kirk so we can have Higgins and Noel actually get some usage. Offensive line needs a little bit of work. We got some good development from Irsay. That was what we needed. We needed to see him develop so that he could become the starter in the future. And then on defense, we get superstar dev for Alshire. And yes, I'm going to be pronouncing it like that. I hope it's not wrong, but it probably is. We got superstar dev for CJ Gardner-Johnson. Okay, how old are you, CJ? 28. Man, you've been around the league for a while. Okay. 28 years old, superstar dev for CJ Gardner-Johnson. Also superstar dev for Kalen Bullock. Sick. I like Kalen Bullock a lot. What does he play? He is a free safety. How do we find room to play him? Because we're not moving Petrie. So how do we how do we find... I guess we could turn him to a strong safety because he looks like he's the same overall at strong safety that he is at free safety. So if we move CJ Gardner-Johnson, maybe that could work. Or maybe we turn him into a corner. Can I turn Kalen Bullock into a corner? He's a 79 right now. What does he turn into as a corner? Does he have the capabilities to be a corner? Because I need to get him on the field, but I can't play him at safety right now. He becomes a 78. So he drops 1 overall at corner, which honestly is not that bad of a trade-off to get him on the field a little bit more. And that gives us an extra corner to work with. Okay, that's a pretty sick move. How old is Aziz? He's 29. Okay. Got a lot of guys that are like 28, 29 that are getting developed. I don't like it. We've also got Mr. Ghost over here, the no picture Brooks dude. So CJ Stroud goes up, pretty good development. He's getting +6 though, so it's inflating his overall a little bit. The season recap, they gave the Offensive Player of the Year to Jamar Chase. Wow, real original, guys. Cooper DeJean. Okay, Cooper DeJean wins the Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow MVP of the league. Jamar Chase, Max Crosby Players of the Year. Ashton Genty and Abdo Carter, the usual suspects, are the rookies of the year. Let's move on to the first offseason. Let's get building this team. Let's get my grubby little fingerprints all over this roster. So we got players ready to negotiate. We got $69 million, nice, and we can accept the player option for Will Anderson Jr. and for Big CJ. And then we've got Nick Chubb, Christian Kirk. We're gonna let Christian Kirk go. Dameon Pierce, Cam Robinson, EJ Speed. It's a lot of the starters, but they're not very high overall starters. I am going to bring back Tommy Townsend just because he's a punter. I don't want to deal with it. So we'll pay him $2 million, and he's going to come back for 7 seasons. Welcome back, Tommy Townsend. All right, Nick Chubb is a trade bait type of guy. We might sign Dameon Pierce just to be a backup because we're going to keep Joe Mixon around, obviously. So if I can get Dameon Pierce back, he's going to return. That's just a backup to Joe Mixon is what that is. Christian Kirk's going to get got. We have Cam Robinson's replacement already, so we don't have to worry about him. EJ Speed's going down, so he's gone. We might need Tim Settle just because we don't have, or I don't know. I was gonna say we might need Tim Settle because we don't have a backup D tackle or starting D tackle. I might want to re-sign Ed Ingram simply for the fact that if we move Irsay to tackle, then we don't have a guard. So we need Ed Ingram to play guard, at least for now. I don't know what's going to happen in the draft. And then I will bring back Tim Settle as well, just to have a starter in case we can't bring in a D tackle. It's not going to break the bank bringing in Tim Settle. We can always trade him. He's got a friendly contract. So let's trade Nick Chubb because I'm sure there's going to be somebody that'll take a chance on Nick Chubb. We can get a running back, R.J. Harvey. We can get Mike Hall Jr., Garrett Williams, Jerzon Newton, Jaden Blue, Cordell Flott. All right, I mean, these are fine players. I don't want to get Mike Hall Jr. I could send Nick Chubb back to the Browns, which would be kind of funny, but I don't want to get Mike Hall Jr. I've done that before. It's not very original. I kind of want to trade him to a different team. Bengals need a running back. I know they don't really need a running back. They've got Chase Brown. Chargers, why do they need a running back? Who's their running back? Oh, it's Najee and Amarion Hampton. They don't need a running back. They got Amarion. What about Chiefs? Probably need a running back, right? Who do the Chiefs got a running back? They got Pacheco. I forgot about that. Who needs a running back? Where could he play? Rico Dowdle, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt's. Commanders could use a running back, at least a veteran starter. So maybe we trade the Nick Chubb to the Commanders. Can I get the 3rd overall pick for Nicholas Chubb? No, it doesn't look like it. What can I get for Nick Chubb, though? I got to get something for him. Can I get Jaden Daniels? McLaurin, Debo, Tyler Boyd, Isaiah Likely. Why does Isaiah Likely always get traded? He's never on the Ravens in any of these videos I do. Josh Connolly Jr. Ooh, I wonder if they would take that. Mikey Sanderstill. Can I grab a combination of Sanderstill and Connerly Jr.? I know that's asking a little bit too much. That's a lot of their depth, or a lot of their good youngsters. But can I grab these guys? This would be some nice pieces to this team if I could do this. We have 2 second-round picks. I might toss a 3rd rounder in 2028, because hopefully by then we're winning Super Bowls. Maybe a 2nd rounder in 2028. That gets us into the yellow, the neon yellow. What about a 3rd rounder in 2027? All right, I'm getting a little too crazy. I know I'm asking for 2 good young studs, but I'm hoping that they accept this. That's very, very close. What about a 4th round pick? 2 seconds and a 4th doesn't get it done. 2 seconds and a 3rd gets it done, possibly. Wow, that's about as close as you can get. What about a 7th? All right, so we do give up a hefty amount. We give up a 2nd round pick next year, but we bring in Josh Connolly Jr. and Mikey Sanderstill, another corner. So that's 4 corners we got. And we bring in a starting right tackle that we don't have to worry about anymore. We don't have to worry about tackle anymore. So I'd say that's pretty sick. Generate the best lineup. Josh Connolly Jr. will start once Titus Howard is gone. Irsay will start at left tackle once Cam Robinson's gone. And our tackle position's already finished. So we can go into free agency and hope that some good things can happen here. Who's going to be available? Is it going to be Aiden Hutchinson? Is it going to be Micah Parsons? Who's going to be available? It's Brandon Audrey. Not who I thought was going to be available. Devin Lloyd's interesting at Mike linebacker, but we have, what's his face? What is his face? We have Aziz, who's our Mike linebacker. We don't have to worry about that. What can we grab in here? We don't need a quarterback. We don't need a running back. We have Joe Mixon. We don't need wide receiver. We don't need tight end. We have Dalton Schultz. There might be a better tight end in draft that we could grab, but we don't need one initially in free agency. We don't need left tackle or right tackle. We could use a guy like Tevin Jenkins at guard. That might not be the worst thing in the world. Because right now we just have Juice Scruggs and Ingram. I don't know if those guys are going to get the job done. We do need a center as well, but I don't really see a center that I want to grab. And plus, guards in the draft are pretty common, so we could probably grab somebody like that. Evan Neal. Ooh, tell me why I like that. I don't know. I still believe in Evan Neal. I don't know why I do, but I do. So I'm going to sign Evan Neal. We're going to bring him in. And then Daniel Falele. That's a big man. How big is he? He's like 7 foot, right? He's huge. We'll give him a 3-year contract. We'll give him like 3.5 and 6, and we'll say, you know what, you can come play guard for us at Houston. We'll see what happens. And then we've got Taylor Moton. We're not going to go for Taylor Moton. Defensively, there's not really anybody that I want to bring in. D tackles are kind of just whatever. I mean, Keanu Benton's cool. Do I want him? Not really. Edge rusher, no. Sam linebacker, no. Mike linebacker, no. Not even the Will linebackers. Corner, we just brought in Sanders still, so we don't need an extra corner. Safety, we're good on safety. I think that's all that we're going to do. We're just going to bring in those 2 guards, or at least potentially those 2 guards. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. They both signed, and they both signed with us. Falele and Evan Neal, both Houston Texans now. We didn't spend that much money to get them, so I'm okay with that. Let's go over here to the generate best lineup screen. Connerly starts over here. Big Titus Howard thinks he's going to be a starter. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? You think you're going to be a starter? You know what you get? You get traded. That's what you get. Cody Simon. Ooh, sexy. Lathan Ransom as well. I'm going Cody Simon all day, every single day. Twice on Sundays, big dog. Welcome aboard, Cody Simon, the Block O. That gets Irsay the starting job. Juice Scruggs and Evan Neal. I'm going to turn Evan Neal into a... Or I'm going to turn one of these guys into a left guard. Probably Evan Neal gets turned into a left guard so that he can possibly play. And then our offensive line's done. Well, not really, but it's close to being done. So we turn Evan Neal into a left guard. He now becomes the starter. No, they still got frickin' Juice Scruggs ahead. You know what, Juice? You're getting traded. You're getting traded, Juice Scruggs, because you're Scrug. Zach Frazier, Ray Davis, Jonnu Smith. These are weird trades. Kendre Miller. Do I want Jonnu Smith or Ray Davis? You know what? Give me Ray Davis, because he actually could be a trade piece. He could actually turn into a trade piece. So we'll generate best lineup now. And we got Connerly, we got Irsay, we got Evan Neal and Falele. Offensive line's looking pretty sick right now. And we add in Ray Davis. You know what? Give me Dameon Pierce trade. What do we got here? I know we just re-signed him, but I brought in Ray Davis. I like him a little bit better. No trade packages for... He's only 26? What? Is he really only 26? That's kind of crazy. I feel like he should be like 45. Who needs a running back? We just talked about this with Nick Chubb. He's now in Washington. We'll see how he does. Who else needs a middling running back like Dameon Pierce? Cam Scattaboo. We got... Gentie's already at 90. Travion. There's not really a team that needs a running back like Dameon Pierce. We could send him to the Saints because Kamara's getting older. And then they've got Kendre and Devin Neal. Maybe they need a guy like Dameon Pierce. So maybe I could grab myself that extra second-round pick that I traded away. You know what? Give me a little bit extra. Give me a little bit of extra sauce. No? Okay. What about just the second? I'll just take the second if you want to give me the second. But it looks like they don't want to do that. What can I give them that they're going to want? I could give them Tim Settle, but that's a little risky. Do you want Henry To'oTo'o? Because I'll give you Henry To'oTo'o. They kind of want Henry To'oTo'o. At corner, we've got Lassiter, center still, Bullock, Jalen Smith. We've got a lot of guys that are young, so we don't really need Jalen Smith anymore. What about Jalen Smith? That gets it done. So we pick up that second-round pick that we traded away to get whoever we got. Or Josh Connolly, that's what it was, to get Connolly and center still. And the offense is looking pretty good. We need to go to the draft and figure out what we got. But Cody Simon's over here. We need to work on linebacker a little bit more. We can work on interior defensive line. But we're getting there. The pieces are coming together. They are coming together. And I need to take a look at what this draft class has to offer. Because I haven't even done a lick of looking at it. I didn't even jump in to do prospect scouting in week 13. So I need to figure out what's going on. What is happening here in Houston? Here's private workouts. What's this draft class got? We know we're going to have guards and we're going to have defensive tackles because that's what every class has. But this has 2 running backs at the top. Or 3 I didn't even see it. 3 running backs at the top. I've never seen a draft class like that. 3 running backs at the top, and this guy looks unreal. Darren Taylor or Deron Taylor? I got to learn about this running back. I shouldn't really do that because we have Joe Mixon, but I mean, 3 top 5 running backs is crazy. I got to learn about him. Wide receiver, we don't need. Tight end, we could use. We could use an extra tight end, that is for sure. Maybe we go after a guy like Victor Diaz. We'll scout him up a little bit. And then guards, there's only one draftable guard, Dre Poindexter. There's a couple of decent centers, one decent center, but these guys have decent grades. These 2 guys down here. And then at right guard, there's no round 1 right guards. Wow. Kind of crazy. Edge, there looks like there could be a good edge rusher in Jackie Tyson. Defensive tackle, we know that defensive tackle is going to be studded because that's just always what happens. I think I'm going to scout Jackie Tyson because I could use a guy of that caliber, possibly. What kind of skills does he have? He's got decent pursuit potential, but Joe Weber has a finesse move. I guess it's what you prefer because he got a speed rusher, power rusher. What do you prefer? Let's just scout Jackie Tyson, see what he's got. So we got the running back, we got the tight end, and then we got Jackie Tyson. So we'll see what we're working with there. So prospects, how good is that running back? That running back actually is top 5. Wow. Okay. Why is there a top 5 running back? That's crazy. What about that tight end? How good is he? He's round 1 to 2. Okay, good to know. He looks pretty solid. I could see myself grabbing him. And then how good is that man, Jackie? He's around 1 to 2. All right. Very interesting. What's the mock draft look like? What's mock draft number 5 got? It's got Daron Taylor going top 5 to the Colts, who don't need a running back. They've got Jonathan Taylor. This is an insane first draft class. You got 3 out of the 4 top 4 draft picks, all running backs. This would never happen in real life. This is insane. How do I get to number 4 overall? Where are we projected to go? We are projected at 16. It's a little bit higher than I wish we were. I wonder if I could trade Joe Mixon for the 4th overall pick. Or maybe the 3rd overall pick. Or maybe the 2nd overall pick. Which the Browns don't need a running back either. They've got 2 rookies that they drafted last year in real life. Cowboys, I could see it. Maybe not at 1, obviously, but this is an insane draft. Do I really need an X factor? He's probably an X factor. Do I really need a rookie running back? I mean, I just got Ray Davis. I've got Joe Mixon already. It's not like I need a running back. I know he's going to be an unbelievable player, but I don't think I need him. I kind of want him, but I don't think I need him. So I think I'm going to stay. We'll let the draft go the way that it is. This is an insane first draft. No way that 3 running backs go in the top 4 picks in a modern NFL draft class. There goes the first 2, which the Browns taking a running back at number 2 is insane. And then the Commanders jump the Colts and take Daron Taylor. They stole him. So the top 3 picks are all a running back. What world? Am I in 2008? What world am I in right now? Where 3 running backs go the first 3 picks of the NFL draft. That's insane. Whatever. Let's sim to our pick. We pick at 16. Here we go. Let's figure out what we're working with. Let's figure out what we're twerking with. So Jackie Tyson's available. So is Victor Diaz. This is our only pick of the first round, obviously, because we don't have 2. So we got to make a decision. Do we need the starting tight end or do you need the starting edge rusher? Because we have Will Anderson Jr., but we don't really have a backup. I mean, we have Danielle Hunter, but he's not going to really be that good of a player for much longer. So do we trust in Jackie Tyson, or do we just go tight end? I know we have Dalton Schultz, but is Dalton Schultz going to be the guy for us long term? Probably not. Maybe, but probably not. I think I might take Jackie Tyson. He's not the greatest athlete in the world, but I'm going to grab him anyway. Welcome aboard, Jackie Tyson. He's number 40. He's got dev trait. He's not the best pick we could have grabbed, but he's going to play. He has to. And then we have the 3rd pick of the 2nd round, thanks to the trade with Washington. So let's make something happen here. One of the tight ends, the tight end that we scouted is gone, but the other tight end, Tremaine Crosby, is available. And he doesn't look that bad. I'm going to take him. So we get edge rusher and tight end. He's normal dev. That's not the greatest pick in the world, but maybe he could turn into something with some good play time. And if we had only 1 second round pick, I probably wouldn't have done that, but having 2 makes me feel a little bit more confident about that. All right, D-tackle looks a little thin right there. Sam linebacker, Corey Stevens could be good. Mike linebacker, Will linebacker. All the Will linebackers are probably not draftable. Mike linebacker, Sam linebacker. Is this guy good? Corey Stevens. He's got good athleticism. Yeah, I'm going to take Corey Stevens. We need extra linebackers, so he's number 81 in true value. He's also got normal dev, but he's a good athlete. It's a weird pick. It's a weird pick. The drafting god might not be here today. What about round 3? Let's take a look at D-tackle at round 3. All right, what are we working with here? We're working with a decent potential speed rusher right here. There's a couple nose tackles that could be good. We know nose tackles are pretty good build, but Zach Folk looks pretty good athletically. I'm going to take Zach Folk. He's number 100 in true value. He's got a depth trait. All right, so he's probably going to be pretty good in the future. And then we go to round 4. We have the third pick in round 4. We have 2 fourth-round picks because this is another commander pick, but this is just one that we had already, not one that we traded for. I might double up on D-tackle, actually, if there's another one that looks pretty good. I mean, we got this guy, Javier Long, who looks good speed-wise, but I don't know if he's worth drafting, at least not in the 3rd round. Sam linebacker, Mike linebacker. I think all the linebackers are pretty much gone. All the draftable ones, at least. Ben Hannon. Weird player. B catching, A press, B tackling. It's a weird player. I don't really know where I want to go with this 4th pick, or this 4th round pick. I don't know if there's anybody available to us. How are the guards looking? The guards are probably all gone by this point. Who's this down here? Jonathan Martin. Oh, God, not another Jonathan Martin. Why is he so bad? I got to take a flyer on this guy. How bad is he? He's number 59 in true value with hidden dev. We found our center. He was the last rated center in the class. Well, that's weird. I didn't realize that we were going to find that. I didn't think we were going to find that. That's pretty sick. All right, whatever, dog. I'll take that. What about other positions? We don't need a tackle, but maybe one of these tackles could move to guard. 6'4", that's not very big for a tackle. He could be a guard. We'll take him. He's number 252. He's the worst rated player. He's Mr. Irrelevant? Or is that 253? I don't remember exactly. Whatever. We'll move on. We got a backup tight end. We got a starting edge rusher. We got a... What else do we get? We got a bunch of stuff. Josiah Stewart's on the trade block? That's kind of crazy. We got a bunch of stuff. A starting center, possibly. 75 for Jackie Tyson. 72 for Crosby and for Corey Stevens. Zach Folk is a 70. Jonathan Martin is 73. Kind of a crazy good pickup. Then Hilton is a 65. That's not great. But the auto-generated stuff, they took a running back, Nathan Long. This running back class must have been juiced because 94 speed in the 5th round is kind of crazy. And then they took a wide receiver, Chris Coleman, who's never going to play. Best players in the class, Lionel Bryan, the number 1 overall pick, is an 84. And then Deron Taylor, who I thought about trading up for, is an 83. These running backs are out of control right now. And of course, the Browns get the worst of the 3. That's hilarious. Weird class. Very, very weird class for season number 1 of the Texans rebuild. But I think we came away with some good players. I really do think we came away with some good players. Let's move to the 2nd season here in Houston, which I might change to a decent playbook. So offensive line now, looking pretty sick. You know what? I'm trading this dog. I'm trading Jarrett Patterson. I want to get my big dog rookie Jonathan Martin in there. So what do you got, Jarrett? Damian Martinez is the best you can do. I probably could just cut you, but you know what? I'm going to trade you. And you know, the Broncos need a center, so give me a 6th round pick and you can call it a day. Boom. Welcome aboard, rookie Jonathan Martin. So now the offensive line's looking pretty good. We got good wide receivers, good running back, good quarterback. Defensively, we add in Jackie Tyson and the rookie Corey Stevens. Jackie Tyson needs to start. Danielle Hunter needs to go. 31 years old. Is it smart to trade him now or get another year out of him? We can get DJ Moore, Deion Dawkins, Mike Evans, Ladd McConkey. Oh my God, Danielle Hunter's got some value. Quinyon Mitchell, Basil Tootin, Garrett Wilson. Oh my God. The value for Danielle Hunter is out of control. I didn't realize he was this crazy good. We can get a 2029 first round pick and L'Jarius Sneed. All right, Danielle. Well, now that I know your value, I'm going to try to get some good stuff for you. What can I grab? What can I possibly grab for you? I mean, they were willing to give me Lad McConkey. I don't need Lad McConkey because I have good wide receivers, but if I can grab myself, I mean, the Titans are willing to give me a first round pick. Yeah, it was 2029, but they were willing to give me a first round pick for Danielle Hunter, which seems kind of crazy. They don't even need edge rusher that bad, at least not right edge. They were willing to give me a 2029 first round pick for him, which is down here. Can I grab a this year first round pick and maybe a this year second round pick and maybe a youngster? Who do you got? DK, you got offensive line that's not that great. JC Latham, Devondre Sweat. You got Louis Roman. Oxane Zaloni, corner, not amazing. I don't really have anybody. At least not anybody that I want. Well, then you know what I'll do? Just give me another first round pick for Danielle Hunter. If you want to give me all that, I'll take it. Maybe I want to go a little bit. This could not, it might not get accepted, but in case that it does, I just want to add a little bit more. Okay. I just want to add a little bit more just in case it got accepted. That's into the orange. What about if I asked for that 2029 first round pick? You were willing to give it to me earlier. Oh my God. Danielle Hunter's got crazy value. This is kind of insane. The fact that we're about to do this. They do need a running back. I only have 2 that I'm willing to give up. I'll give you Woody Marks. That's a funny name. I like that. And then we'll go to give you a third round pick in 2029. I'm hoping that we're winning championships by 2029. I know I'm asking for a draft pick in 2029, but I could trade that. I could possibly trade that. This is about to go through. You just don't know it yet. I have 3 7th round picks. Why? I don't know. You better accept this or I'm going to cry. Oh my God. You got to be kidding me, right? We're joking right now. We're having a laugh. Having a good old-fashioned laugh right now. Trade accepted. Danielle Hunter gets us 2 first round picks and a second round pick. That's kind of insane for Danielle Hunter. I'll take it though. If that's what they want to give me, I'm not going to complain about it because that gets our rookie to start. We have draft picks for this year, and it gets Cody Simon to ability to start, and it gets Corey Stevens an ability to start. So we'll see how they develop. All right, we're looking pretty sexy right now, aren't we? Looking pretty sexy. I do want to buy the ability, the staff ability, not the staff ability, the scouting ability. I want to keep buying this one so we can scout the best of our abilities here. Bada bing, bada boom. That's done. And then we go to the weekly strategy. We go over here and we take these out because we don't care about those ones. And then we go to this one. We load that in. That's the one that gets you the training camp stuff. And then we load in that one. And then we go in over here and we confirm the loadout. And then we go in over here and we simulate the training. And then we go in over here and we do the training camps. Okay, perfect. We are looking real good for season number 2. I'm very excited about it. Very excited about season 2. I'm going to change the playbook. Tank Dell gets an upgrade point. Good for him. I'm going to change the playbooks. I think I'm going to go Buffalo offense. I think that might be a good one. I'm going to go Buffalo offense. And then I'm going to go, looks like 69 is the best one we got. I'm going to go Buffalo offense. And maybe I'll go Dallas defense. I'm not sure. Probably went the wrong way, didn't I? Yeah, it looks like it. I bet Buffalo was right next to Houston, weren't they? They're close, probably. Do I keep Houston defense? I'll keep Houston defense for now. We'll go Buffalo offense and see how CJ Stroud performs. But that's going to be season number 2. I'll go and do training camp and all that kind of good stuff. And then we will move on to season number 2. I will see you guys at the end of season number 2, unless obviously something crazy happens. Year 2 is finished, and we have a 10-7 playoff team. Is that what we should be doing? I don't know, but we're here and we're going to roll with it. How did CJ Stroud do? He finished second in passing yards, 3,900 yards in the Buffalo offense with 30 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. I'd say that's worthy of a playoff appearance. Good job, CJ. Good numbers from Joe Mixon, another 5 yards per carry average, 14 touchdowns, 1,500 yards. Two 1,000-yard receivers, including Tank Dell going nuclear once again with 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns for Nico. And Jaden Higgins finally getting some rub. That's good. I'd love to see that. Cody Simon puts up 138 tackles. Let's go, Cody. Aziz puts up 113. Tackle for loss leader is Tim Settle with 12, along with Will Anderson Jr. And then you got 7.5 sacks for Will Anderson Jr. The rookie, Jackie Tyson, puts up 6. Good rookie year from the young man, even though he looks like a 70-year-old dude. That's okay. 4 for Aziz. And then you got interception. Derek Stingley puts up 7. He had 1 in season 1. He puts up 7 picks in season number 2, along with 5 for Kamari Lassiter and 4 for CJ Gardner-Johnson. That is an insane amount of interceptions in simulation. But I'm here for it. We got a playoff run against the Indianapolis Colts. What do we got? A W? Show me a W. Jameis Winston, we're eating W's. It's a loss, 17-13. Okay, season number 2's over. Let's go to the offseason. Let's go to the offseason. That's a little annoying. Why get there if you're just going to lose in round 1? I don't know. All right, let's get to the Super Bowl. Let's see what kind of depth trade upgrades we get. Maybe CJ Stroud will go from superstar to X Factor. That would be pretty sick, nasty if he could do that. Did I just see the Giants in the Super Bowl? What universe are we in? We're in year 2 of a rebuild, and the Giants are in the Super Bowl playing against the Rams, and or playing against the Ravens, and they almost won it. Okay, whatever. Let's take a look at season recap before we take a look at anything else. Trenton Simpson is your Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow, another MVP of the league. We know that that Bengal playbook puts up crazy good offensive numbers. Puka Nacua, Micah Parsons are the players of the year. And Deron Taylor, that stinking running back for the Commanders, he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Man, oh man, I should have got him. I should have. All right, what do we got? Yes, X Factor for CJ Stroud is massive. That's actually really, really massive. Receivers are looking good. Running backs looking good. Offensive line's looking good. What about defense? We have Tyson with star dev. Cody Simon gets star dev. I see you, Cody Simon. We just need to get D tackle, and we're good to go. CJ Gardner-Johnson's X Factor after putting up, 5 interceptions. Kamari Lassiter, superstar. I mean, Stingley was already X Factor, so it's not like he can go up anymore. We just need to get 2 backup D tackles, and this team's a Super Bowl team. It's already set in stone. But that's some good development from the boys. Some good development, including Cody Simon getting up to that star dad. That's huge. All right, we got a ton of money. What are we working with here? Tank Dell needs a fat contract. It's a good thing we have a ton of money. All of our guys need new contracts. This is not good. All right, let's start with Tank Dell. Let's go down the line. Tank, you're a tank. You're coming back to us. You're never leaving. You're a Texan for life. He's returning. Welcome back. Who's up next? CJ Gardner-Johnson. I talked about possibly trading you at the beginning of the video. You're not getting traded now because you've developed like crazy. So he's returning. Welcome back. Who else is next? We got Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon, I could have traded you and drafted a freaking stud running back, but I stuck with you, so I'm paying you money. Welcome back. Who's next? Aziz. I'm not going to pay you as much, but I will pay you. He's going to return. Welcome back, Aziz. Anybody else? Dalton Schultz, we probably do need to bring back. Davis Mills, channel legend? World of Juice channel legend? Davis Mills is a god. Chicago Cougars? Anybody? Davis Mills is legendary. I might just pay him just because of that. You know what? I am going to pay him. Davis Mills, you've got a lifetime Texans contract. Welcome back to Houston. Welcome back. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Miami Fairbairn. I don't need you. Is that man's name British Brooks? Who? This cannot be a real guy. Hold on. Tangent. British Brooks is a real player. You got to be jerking me right now. Hold on. You're going to see this. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, child. British Brooks. What? It's his actual name. There's not like a Brit or like a first name and then like the parentheses British because that's what he goes by. No, British Brooks is his actual name. Who are you? He's from North Carolina. He went to North Carolina for his college. I feel like I should know you. He didn't get drafted in the 2024 draft. He came here as a free agent. Wow, this is insane. He rushed for 124 yards in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Good for you. British Brooks is a crazy name. Wow. Okay. Well, you know what? Because that's your name, I'm signing you to a 7-year contract. Because you got an insane name. So welcome aboard. British Brooks. That's a crazy name. All right, British Brooks is back. That's, talk about alliteration. $51 million. What's in free agency? Oh my God. Everybody wants to come play for the Houston Texans. This might not be a good idea because I want everybody. Man, there's some good options in here. This is a lot better of a free agency class than last year. We have 51 million. Elton Jenkins is available. I could move him to guard and we could be sexy. I think I might do that, or at least move somebody to guard. Maybe I don't move him to guard, but I move somebody to guard. Because we got Evan Neal. We've got the other dude, Falele. Zay Flowers, Jair Alexander. Why is Zay Flowers looking at me with those devilish eyes like he wants to come be a Houston Texan? I kind of want him to be a Houston Texan as well. And then one of these D tackles could be sexy. I think a Christian Wilkins type might help us win a championship, but we can't pay him. No! We're out of money. We're out of money. That would have been a pretty sick pickup if we would have been able to get him. Justin Fields. I think we're going to stay with the two guys he targeted. Elton Jenkins and Zay Flowers. What do we got? Both of them. Both of them are Texans. That's money well spent. That's money well spent, ladies and gentlemen. So Jenkins becomes the starting center. We've got Zay Flowers now. We didn't need Zay Flowers, but I wanted him. And we're going to move Martin to guard. One of the guards. I don't know which one, but one of the guards. Probably the right guard spot. Yeah, let's move him to right guard. He should be able to get the job done at right guard. And yeah, he's a 79 overall at guard too. So we're looking pretty good for a championship right now. We bring in Zay Flowers. We just need to get a couple of defensive tackles, and we're looking pretty good. So let's move on to the draft. Defensive tackle is our big focus. We have 2 first-round picks. Don't forget about that. We do have 2 first-round picks again this year. So we can, or for the first time this year, we had 2 second-round picks last year. We have 2 first-round picks this year. DJ Reader signed with the Saints. Good luck down there in the Big Nola. Private workouts. Oh, so did Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb signed with the Saints as well. 2 top 5 players right here. It's a quarterback and an edge rusher, but I don't think we're going to be in position to grab him. We need to focus on defensive tackle. That's our last big need. And I'm hoping that there's a defensive tackle that's good. I'm going to scout a couple of these guys down the board a little bit and hope that they're worth it. I chose that guy, right? Did I not? Yeah, I chose him. Okay. What else are we working with here? Is there anybody sneaky down the board? Possibly not really. Maybe Logan Schaefer could be good. We'll scout him a little bit, see what he's got. But then we'll also take a look at linebacker because Aziz isn't going to be good forever. So we're going to need to replace him at some point. So maybe if we can find a linebacker. Dylan Thomas, we already know a little bit about. Let's learn a little bit about Drew Tomlinson. Those are going to be my 3 guys. So 2 D tackles and a linebacker. We're going to be focusing on defense. And maybe we'll draft a tight end. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe we'll draft a tight end. What's the mock draft looking like? Where are we even picking at? So Camarillo is going to go number 1 overall to Cincinnati. What are we working with here? Another running back top 5. I swear that the running back class is not like juiced in the sliders or anything. It's just kind of happening. We're picking top 10 with one of our picks. Obviously not our own because we made the playoffs, but number 7 overall is a very good spot to be in because everybody below this we can grab if we want to. We can grab this Clyde Marshall guy if we wanted to. Who else is available for us? We're picking at 23 for our own pick. So there's not really anybody that I want. I mean, I'd like Luis Camarillo, but we're not going to be in position to get him. So outside of that, there's not really anybody else that we need to trade up for from 7. So we're in a pretty good spot. We're in a pretty good spot. We don't need we're not going to get Camarillo or Wilcox. This guy, Ashton Goldman, I don't think we need. I don't think we need him. How good was the D tackles that we scouted? So Clyde Marshall is a round 1 to 2 guy. That's the guy that was like projected number 8 or whatever. This guy's a round 1, Logan Schaefer. All right, good to know. And then we got a round 2 to 3 on Drew Tomlinson. So I think both of these two guys, maybe even all three of them, Steve Morrow, Drew Tomlinson, and Dylan Thomas, I think are all going to be fairly good linebackers. So if we can have the pick of one of these three, I think we'd be pretty safe at taking any of them. Bobby Lawson's a round 1 true talent. I think we got to take one of the D tackles, and I think it's going to have to be Clyde Marshall. But is he really a 7th overall? Is he a top 10 player in this class? I don't think he is. I don't think he is a top 10 player in this class. Let's simulate to our pick, though. Pick number 7. So it goes pretty much how I expected to go. Here we go. We got something to figure out here. We know that Clyde Marshall's a round 1 to 2 guy. That might be a little bit early. Because even the D tackle that we scouted later is a better true talent. He's a true round 1, not just a round 1 to 2. So I think we can come away with a better D tackle than that. If I'm going to draft somebody in number 7 overall, who's it going to be? Is it going to be a guy like Will Keaton? Is it going to be a corner? Because this corner could be... Oh, who are you? Tevin Barton. He's got good speed, not an amazing speed, but he's got A-man coverage, B-press, and B-zone. He's very well-rounded. Very interesting. Is there a USC strong safety? Doesn't look like it. He could be pretty good. The play rec is good as well. Tevin Barton could be a solid corner, but is he a top 10 pick corner? That's the big question I got to answer. Marco Oliver. Okay, Marco. Oh, I think I might have to take Marco. He looks pretty good. We got him at 75%, so we know a good amount about him. He looks like a solid player, but so does Will Keaton. Will Keaton looks like a good player skill-wise. I mean, the A hit power, the A play rec, the B pursuit. I don't think we can go wrong with either Keaton or this guy, Marco Oliver. I think I'm going to take Marco Oliver. It's a little bit of a wild pick out of left field, but I think I'm going to grab him. He's number 46 in true value. I missed on him. Okay, he's got hidden dev. He's got good stats, but that's not a top 10 guy that I was looking for. That's not the top 10 guy I was looking for. Is the corner still? Tevin Barton got taken at 11. I probably should have taken Tevin Barton. He looked like a really good player, but I got too excited about the potential of Marco. It distracted me. We can still come away with a pretty solid linebacker here. The Mike linebackers are still looking pretty good, so we'll wait on that. I wonder, can I draft one of these safeties and turn him into a corner? Probably not. The man coverage is not great for you. The zone coverage is probably a B, but we don't know for sure. What about this guy? Sam Bishop. He's got decent speed. He's got B-man coverage. His zone coverage isn't going to be amazing. Sam Bishop's going to be my guy. Welcome aboard, Sam Bishop. He's number 21 in true value. He's got normal dev. Really? Normal dev? Come on, man. Number 7 in the second round. This is probably where we take one of the D tackles, because I do not want to miss out on one of them. Oh, not the one of the D tackles. That's not what I meant. One of the Mike linebackers is what I meant. So one of the Mike linebackers. It looks like one of them got taken, so it's just Amaro and Drew Tomlinson. I mean, Amaro's got better hit power. They both have the same tackling, play rec, awareness. We know that the power moves are better for Tomlinson and the block shedding's better for Tomlinson, so I think I'm going to take Drew Tomlinson. We know he's a guaranteed 2 to 3. Let's grab him. He's number 52 in true value. He's got a hidden dev. He's going to be good. And then we go to the second pick of the second round. We could get the other guy if he's still available. He might have got taken. I might have seen him get taken there. He did get taken. Or did he? Who's this? This isn't the Amaro guy, but he could be good. Dylan Thomas. Might as well double up on linebacker. He's number 31 in true value with hidden dev. Okay. We're working things here. We're doing things. We're moving. We're shaking. We're grooving to the music. And I think this is when we take a D tackle. And the D tackle got grabbed. I hate my life. All right. Well, we don't take a D tackle, at least that D tackle, but we are going to take one. And it's probably going to be this guy. Kyrie Hickson is a freak. He's going to be good. Welcome to the Houston Texans. He's number 119 in true value. He's got hidden dev. Him and Fox are going to be a good combination. And then we move to the 4th round. And we're probably going to take another D tackle because we have 3 D tackles that we need to grab. So who's it going to be? There's got to be a freak here. I just know it. There's got to be. Who's the freakiest of the freaks? Let me go to physicals. Who's the freakiest left on the table? There's a bunch of elite speed guys available. But the strength is not great for these guys, which could be concerning. Eddie Slack. It's a great name. But he does not does not rush the passer very well. Does not do anything very well. Who's the best strength available? Is there a good combination? Doesn't look like there's a good combination of strength. We got Joel Malecki. He's got good strength. I'm going to take the strength. I'm going to risk it. We're going to risk the strength. 117 in true value. Normal dev. Maybe he's good. Maybe he's not. Maybe the CPU can draft somebody that's better. Who the F knows? I feel like we did pretty good, though. Having those 2 first-round picks helped us. So we get 74 overall Marco Oliver. 76 overall Sam Bishop, but he doesn't have a dev trait. Tomlinson's a 73. 75 for Dylan Thomas. 69, nice, for both Malecki and Hickson. And then the rest of these guys are kind of bad, but I mean, they took a guard who's got 72 overall, whatever. Best in the NFL is an 80 overall running back. What is with these running backs? They're kind of going nuclear right now. The rest of the class wasn't amazing. Barton ended up being a 79. I should have taken him. I missed my opportunity to take him. I should have grabbed him. I knew he was going to be good. I should have just grabbed him. Should have just grabbed him. Gotta listen to my gut sometimes. Gotta listen to my gut. All right, year number 3. Year number 3. This team is championship caliber. Will we actually simulate well enough to be a championship team? I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But I do think this team is championship caliber. Just got to make sure we got the right schemes working. 88% seems to be the highest. And that is what we will run. Still running Buffalo and Houston. We'll see if that's good to go. Defense is looking pretty solid. We got a lot of backups to replace Aziz once he starts to regress even further. The D tackle spot's going to take a little bit because a lot of these guys are super low overall. And Tim Settle still can get some work in. So I might even just start Hickson over Rodgers. And I might just cut Rodgers just so he doesn't get put back in for no reason. So let's just cut Rodgers. And then that means that we get at least one of our rookies to start. But we're looking pretty good in the terms of development. I want to see some more development out of Cody Simon and out of Jackie Tyson. I want to see some more development out of CJ Stroud. I want to see some development out of the offensive line. I want to see some Super Bowls here in Houston. Let's simulate year number 3 and figure out if this team actually is legit. Year 3's done, and we improve a little bit. 11 wins instead of 10 wins, so I guess that's something. We still make the playoffs as a wild card team. This time we were the 4 seed. All right, I'll take that. We're showing progress. It's not amazing progress, but we're showing progress. 4,000 yards on the dot for CJ Stroud. That's kind of impressive to hit 4,000 even and then stop. But then he had 38 touchdowns and 3 picks. That's a very, very good season for CJ Stroud, as he's been putting up consistently these first 3 years. Joe Mixon puts up good numbers, 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns, good season from him. Tank Dell has 1,200 yards again. He seems to be consistently getting 1,200 yards. Nico just under 1,000. Zay Flowers puts up 800 yards. Good for him. And then defensively, Aziz puts up 100 tackles. Gardner Johnson, 85. Marco Oliver, the rookie, puts up 82. Okay. Tackle for loss leader is Anderson Jr. with 14. Settle, Jackie Tyson, and Zach Folk, the young D tackle, put up 12 tackles for loss. Sack leader is Anderson Jr. with 15. He's finally starting to break out. That's good. Folk had 6.5. Jackie Tyson had 3. Larkin had 2.5. Good for Larkin. 5 picks for Kamari Laster. Okay. Corey Stevens, 2. Some of our young guys are actually starting to become real threats. You love to see it. We take on the Ravens. Last year we lost in the wild card. What can happen this time? We win 34 or 32-24. Let's go, baby. W's. W's in chat. Let's go. Huge win against the Baltimore Ravens. That's a big upset, too. The Ravens, I think, were pretty good, weren't they? 14-3, and they were a 5 seed because the Bengals, oh my God, the Bengals were 16-1. I didn't even clock that. Wow, that's kind of crazy. We take on the Jacksonville Jaguars in the second round. Come on, boys. AFC Championship. Show me the money. 29-7. Let's go. Let's go. AFC Championship in year number 3 of the rebuild. Jackie Tyson gets an upgrade point. Good for him. I hope you're happy and healthy. Let's upgrade the boys. AFC Championship against the Chargers. The Bengals didn't even make it here. They're frauds? They're fraudulent? Oh my God. All right, whatever. AFC Championship, we host it because we're the highest seed. Let's go to the Super Bowl. We've got an AFC Championship of 2 unlikely teams. I mean, the Bengals were 16-1. You'd think that they would have been a favorite to get here, but no. It's the Texans and the Chargers to battle for a trip to the Super Bowl, and we're down 7-6 in the second half. This is a low-scoring AFC Championship, but we do take the lead and got the 2-point, 14-7. Chargers can't do anything with it, and you know what I gotta do? I gotta jump in and end this game. I gotta put it on ice. We got Joe Mixon out here. We got some studs out here. Let's put this game on ice, go to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl in year number 3, and then probably if we are able to win a Super Bowl in year number 3, we'll do one more season to see if we can repeat as champions. We probably wouldn't be able to, knowing the simulation in Madden, but we'll try. Hand off to Joe Mixon. He gets a decent run. 3rd and 5. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Chargers have all their timeouts, so they're going to use them if we get this first down. Well, they'll probably use it regardless, I would assume. Let's go mesh spot. Mesh spot's a goated play. We got Tank Dell. We got Dalton Schultz. It's almost always going to Tank Dell. It's open. Tank's wide open. He's got it. First down and more. That ball's out, though. Chargers recover. Oh, my God. Tank Dell sold. Tank Dell sold his soul. Chargers have the football. They couldn't do it. Chargers suck. Chargers are trash. Chargers are fraudulent. They had the ball. I dropped the controller. I'm so shocked they couldn't do anything with it. Oh my God. They didn't even use any timeouts. And Ray Davis, look at the man rumble. Timeout called by the Chargers. Oh, it's the cheater. It had to be. He didn't get fired. He's still here. And he's still a choke artist. What a shock. The cheater, he can't get it done. Chargers call a second timeout. We're going to run one more play. I can't believe Tank Dell fumbled the football and then they couldn't score. I mean, what if, man, with Justin Herbert? What if? Davis goes down. That's the final timeout used. But you know what? It don't matter because CJ will take a knee and the cheater will fall. Houston will move on to the Super Bowl. It was ugly. 14-7. Not a high-scoring AFC championship. I'm sure people on Twitter aren't happy about it. But this is what happened. The Houston Texans, for the first time in franchise history, will even play for a Super Bowl. Not to mention the fact that they've never won one. They've never even gotten to the game to have a chance to win one. We're going to do it right here, right now in Season 3. This team is built different. We are built for the moment. It's just a matter of who we're going to play. Eagles, possibly. Giants, because for some reason they're good now. Who's it going to be? It's the Philadelphia Eagles. They were inevitable. They were inevitable. It had to be Philadelphia. It's always Philadelphia. CJ Stroud's a true 95, by the way. It's always Philadelphia. But here we go. One game to decide the rebuild. Will we be successful, or will we have to go one more season regardless? Let's find out. It's Super Bowl time here in Texans rebuild. We take on the Philadelphia Eagles. It's not a shock that the Philadelphia Eagles are here. They are the Eagles, and it's Madden. So the Eagles usually play in the Super Bowl regardless of what rebuild you're doing or how deep into a rebuild you are. It's at 7-7 now. Can we get a touchdown? Yes, we can. 14-7, but Eagles go back firing 14-14, and now it's time to jump in. A field goal walks us off in the Super Bowl. It's 3rd and 3. Philadelphia's got a turnover in the game. Interesting. A field goal walks us off. It's Nico Collins. Maybe we don't need a field goal. Maybe we need a touchdown. Okay, Nico at the 9. That's pretty sick. We're going to take over here, and we're going to drain this clock. We are going to try to drain the clock as best as possible. I don't even really want to score here. I'm not trying to score, although I didn't have a chance there. They stopped me pretty easily. But that's going to be the 2-minute warning. 3rd and goal, or 2nd and goal, we will run the ball again. We can try to take it down as best as possible. I don't know if they're going to use their timeouts or not. It's going to be interesting to see if they use their timeouts. They might. But then they might realize that we are going to run the clock down. They don't use a timeout there. So we can take the clock down. It's 3rd and goal. I think I might try to score here. If not, just try to line up the field goal even easier. We got to take this time down even further, as far as we can go. We'll snap it here. Handoff. Mixon lines it up a little bit. All right, that's 4th and goal. And they do choose the timeout there. Okay. I figured that's what they would do, but you never know. So we drill the field goal. 17-14, we have the lead in the Super Bowl. What's going to happen with Philly? Nothing happens with Philly. It's a ball game. They lose. The Houston Texans are going to be Super Bowl champions for the first time in franchise history. We have officially rebuilt the Houston Texans, ladies and gentlemen. We've done it. CJ Stroud is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. We've done it. We didn't even really do that much to this team, too. I mean, we added Josh Connerly on the offensive line. We added in Zay Flowers, but he didn't really do that much. It was really Tank Dell and Nico Collins. We kept Joe Mixon around. Obviously, CJ Stroud. We brought in Elton Jenkins on the offensive line, I guess, at center. And then on defense, we developed Will Anderson Jr. Derek Stingley's a stud. CJ Gardner-Johnson developed like crazy. Yeah, we fixed the linebacking core a little bit. But for the most part, we didn't really touch this team that much, surprisingly. And look at that. Davis Mills in the background gets a Super Bowl ring, as he well deserves, because he's a god. Congratulations to the Houston Texans. They are Super Bowl champions for the first time in franchise history. D'Amico Ryans gets to celebrate with the Lombardi. And we've done it. We have done it. We will go one more year, like I mentioned, just to see if we can repeat. I doubt that we will, but we will go one more season. This one's going to be kind of a quick season. We're not going to really focus too much on free agency or the draft or anything like that because it doesn't really matter. But we will move to season number 4 just to see if we can repeat with this team, because I think they could. They got a good team. They got a good team around here. So let's take a look at the recap and at the dev trade upgrades of potential some of our young guys. Let's see what we're working with here. So season recap has Joe Mixon winning Super Bowl MVP. CJ Stroud gets MVP of the league. Finally, some respect. Puka Nacua and Nick Bonito are the players of the year, but finally some respect for CJ Stroud. It's about time. Let's see the dev trade upgrade potential here. So nobody on offense changes because we had the highest you could have with X Factor. I still think they should add a secret next tier ability, like a platinum tier superstar ability. I think that'd be pretty fun. So like you go to X Factor, but then you can unlock like platinum ability. That'd be pretty cool. And then on defense, it seems like everybody's the same. Petrie goes up to superstar. That's new. But I think everybody else is the same. Cody Simon developed very well. Good for Cody Simon. And we drafted pretty well with Thomas and Tomlinson, both having star dev. Hickson has star, no surprise there. Folk is developing fairly well. Good team. Good team. Let's take a look at the offseason. We're going to fly through it. We're going to fly right past the offseason here. We'll take a look at re-signing because I think CJ Stroud is up for a contract. Yes, he is. And he wants a fat bag. Not just a fat bag, a fat bag. So much money, it's kind of crazy. But he wants to be back, and he will be back. So CJ Stroud's coming back. Nico Collins needs a new contract. we're not going to have any money to re-sign Will Anderson Jr. We're going to have to do a little bit of a restructuring to bring Will Anderson Jr. back. But Nico comes back. Anderson Jr., Kamari Lassiter. Ooh, there's a lot of guys, actually. Yeah, we're going to have to do a little bit, just a tiny little bit of restructuring here to get these guys to return to the team. So let's talk about this. I could do CJ Stroud. That might be pretty fun, but I'm not going to do that. We could do Tank Dell. We could do, not Nico. He just got signed. We'll do Derek Stingley. We can do Zay Flowers. We can do Elton Jenkins. Those are really the only ones that are going to cost money. If I have to, I'll restructure CJ's contract, but I probably won't. Let's get Will Anderson Jr. back. He's going to be a lot of money, but he wants to return, and he's going to be happy to return. So that leaves with 13 million. Oh my God, this is. How do we get these guys back? Kate Stover. How do we get these guys back? I don't know if it's possible. I might have to prioritize Connolly Jr. I'm going to have to franchise tag somebody here. You know what? How much money is it if I restructure CJ Stroud? How much does he free up? What about if I also do Zay Flowers? Because we just, or not Zay Flowers. What if I do Will Anderson Jr. and Nico Collins? What if I free up those guys just because I just re-signed them? How much does that give me? That gives me 48 million. All right, that's something. At least we can get back Kalen Bullock, and we can possibly get back Kamari Lassiter. But he might have to be the franchise tag one. He might have to be a franchise tag. We got 37 million. If I go in for Kamari Lassiter, we can offer him. You know what? I can get him. I can offer him this, and then whatever we have left, whoever's left is going to have to be the franchise tag. Connolly's going to have to be... Oh, he's the option. Never mind. Mikey Sanders still... We can offer you just a slight contract. That's good. He's coming back. We're able to get everybody back so far. Ray Davis, Blake Fisher. You know what? Ray Davis, he's going to have to be the franchise tag, isn't he? Or can I get him on a contract? He wants to return. What's the cheapest I can get? This contract. Is he going to accept that? He wants to play for a new team next year. Well, you know what, Ray Davis? You're not going to be able to. You're getting franchise tagged as a backup running back because that's how crazy I am. We're bringing back the entire team. That was pretty crazy. We brought back everybody. Brought back everybody. Free agency. I'm not even going to take a look at it because I don't care. Let's send them right to the draft. Right to the draft. Let's get it cooking. Let's get it cooking in here. Let's get it cooking in here. What's the mock draft look like? Mock draft number 5 has us. How many picks do we have? Do we just have one? I think we just have one. Yes, we only have the one pick, and it's the 32nd pick in the draft. So we're going to go to the draft and figure out who's available. Maybe there's going to be somebody good. Maybe there's not going to be anybody good. Who knows? All right. What are we working with here? Who's available? We got a quarterback. Got an edge rusher. Let's look at D-tackle because I did see that Tim Settle was gone. So D-tackle might be something we need. But there's not a D-tackle that's good. Wow. All right. That's a little concerning. Ooh. Mike Norris. Hello, mama. Mike Norris is my guy. Number 36 in true value. He's got hidden dev. It's another piece to the team. We don't have a 2nd round pick or a 3rd round pick. We have a 4th round pick. And you know what? I'm going to let the CPU handle that because I can't be bothered. So let's go to the end of the draft and figure out who is on this team for the final year. Year number 4. We're defending Super Bowl champions. Can we win another one? Probably not, but you never know. We got a 75 overall in Mike Norris, and then the rest are a bunch of scrubs. Best in the class was 84 overall USC strong safety, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Jimmy Guerrero's 82. This is a decent class. Some good players in here. But we had a USC strong safety. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love a USC strong safety. That build's pretty crazy. All right, year number 4. Let's load up the team, see what this squad looks like for the final year. Generate the best lineup. We got British Brooks. That's all you really need. Offensive line looks good. Offense in general looks good. Crosby actually has jumped Dalton Schultz for the starting job. I'll take that. That's pretty cool. And then the defense, we got Norris up here. Yeah, we're a little thin at D tackle. But the D tackle class in general just hasn't been that good, or at least not when we've been drafting. Everybody that's been good has been taken for us already. So we'll see what happens. Year number 4, the final year of the rebuild. Let's go see if we can win back-to-back championships. Probably not, but who knows? The final year's in the books, and the boys dominated. 15-2. What a season for this squad. CJ Stroud puts up 4,400 yards, 48 touchdowns, and 6 picks. He's already the defending MVP, and now he's in Super Bowl champion as well. And now he puts up these kind of numbers in the second season after that, or the next season after that. It's kind of crazy. Another consistent season from Joe Mixon. 1,200 yards and 15 touchdowns for Zay Flowers. Nico puts up 1,105 touchdowns, and then 1,000 yards for Tank Dell. And then Tremaine Crosby out of nowhere, 15 touchdowns for the homeboy. Let's go. Love to see it. 102 tackles for Marco Oliver, so maybe I am the drafting god. I don't know. I guess that's not for me to say. 83 tackles for Kamari Lassiter. Tackle velocity was Zach Folk with 21. I am a drafting god. 16 for Will Anderson Jr. He also led the team with sacks with 11, 10.5 for both Jackie Tyson and Kyrie Hickson. And then interceptions, last year had 4, Stingley had 3, 2 for a couple of guys, and 1 for a couple of jabrones. So we move to the playoffs. We've got a divisional matchup. We were the number 1 seed. Divisional matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders. Who's going to win? It's us. Of course it is. We take on the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship. Can we go back-to-back Super Bowls? It's possible. We got to see against Buffalo. A very important AFC Championship against the Buffalo Bills right here. We defend our crown against Buffalo. We beat the Raiders in week 1, or in the divisional round. We got the Buffalo Bills here. It's not looking too good, but we're up. We're down 10-7. This Buffalo squad could be good enough to upset us. 16-7. Come on, boys. 16-14. Make me proud. Oh my God, it's 19-14 with 1:10 to go. We might not have what it takes to go back-to-back Super Bowls. But I will try. I will try my very best to get this done. We're going to go to the sidelines. It's Zay Flowers for a big first down. 130 and 2 touchdowns for C.J. Stroud's not bad. Not bad, just not as good as Joshua Allen, apparently. We're going to send Tank Dell on a deep route because he might have himself cooking, but he's not going to. It's going to be Zay Flowers again. What a pickup Zay Flowers has been. 2 big catches. 2 real big catches. That puts us under 50 seconds. Close to field goal range. Good throw, by the way, by C.J. Stroud. I didn't even acknowledge that, but it was a good throw. We'll go underneath the Tank Dell. We'll call... Oh, we can't call a timeout. That's right. We can't call a timeout. We don't have any. So we got to go. We got to get moving. We got to get shaking here. Can't really waste any time. We're under 20 seconds. I'm going to have to go to Tank Dell, and I'm going to have to call a spike. I'm going to have to call a spike. I'm calling the spike. Am I not calling the spike? I think I'm calling the spike. Am I holding the right button? Yes, okay. I'm calling the spike. I thought I was holding the right button. Come on, everybody. Get set. Get set. Get set. Get set. Get set. Get set. And spike it. Okay. 12 seconds. We have 2 plays. 2 plays potentially for a champ or for a touchdown. It's either got to go to the sideline or it's got to go to the end zone. End zone intercepted. Buffalo's going to win the football game. I probably shouldn't have forced it there, but my only other choice was to throw it to Crosby, the tight end, and I didn't think he was open. So unfortunately, we will lose to Buffalo in the AFC Championship. I mean, maybe I could have called a better play. That's up for debate, I guess, but I don't know. I just feel like it was never going to be in the cards for us to go back-to-back. Even if we had a great season, 15 wins in the regular season, that means nothing in the game of Madden. You can go undefeated and lose in the wild card, or not the wild card, lose in the divisional round. In the game of Madden, it has no bearing on what you do. And the Bills will play the Giants in the Super Bowl, so they get the Giants. We had to play the Eagles last year. C.J. Stroud does get up to a 98 overall true talent player, which is pretty sick. Come on, Giants, don't let us lose to the Super Bowl champions. Who's going to be the champs? Who's going to be the champs? It is the New York Football Giants. Jackson Dart is your Super Bowl MVP, so it looks like the Giants hit on their quarterback. C.J. Stroud goes back-to-back with MVPs. He also picks up an Offensive Player of the Year award, so he had a great rebuild. Abdul Carter gets Defensive Player of the Year for the Giants as they win the Super Bowl. but I think we developed this team very, very well. We turned the Texans into perennial Super Bowl contenders. Yeah, they're very expensive, but that's not my problem. I'm done. My hands are clean of this team now. We've built, and Wilkins is a superstar dev offensive lineman. Huge. So this team's amazing. CJ Stroud was fantastic. Zay Flowers develops into a superstar dev player. Jonathan Martin's a good offensive lineman to have on the team. I drafted really, really well with Jackie Tyson, with Folk, with Hickson, with everybody basically. Yeah, I did pretty good. I did pretty good. We rebuilt the Houston Texans. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Like I said in the early portion of the video, if you have any suggestions for teams you want to see me rebuild in the future, let me know down below in the comments, and I will take them on in a future video. That's going to do it for me, though. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.